If you have a relationship that you're not sure about, and you're not sure if your relationship is sound, your relationship with somebody can make a difference in your life, but it can make a difference in other people's lives if that relationship is a sound relationship that you can rely on and know that you understand what the relationship is. A relationship that isn't founded on trust but mistrust is a relationship that we can lose trust in as being a relationship that we can count on. When we can't count on relationships between ourselves and between others that we think that we love or think that we care about, but the love is not returned or the care is not returned, then it's not a relationship that we can trust. This goes as deep and as far as siblings. Siblings can say they love each other, but when their lives are apart for many years and their lives are something that aren't parallel in experience or in accomplishment or in lack of accomplishment, the experiences that siblings may have who grew up together and share the same values, were raised by the same parents, experience the same things, and have a foundation of a morality that is common, may have different views of the world and may have different views about how to proceed when something important is in front of them that they have to proceed and decide on, maybe individually or together as siblings or together as a family if there's more than two that have to decide. When you are part of a family that has a common foundation of a morality, that morality is what needs to lead your choices based on that morality, how it leads you to make a choice. The morality may not be a reflection of how you live exactly, isn't true. It is a reflection of how you live. You make choices based on morality that you earned and learned when you were young. Earning it isn't really the right way to say it, but earning is something that we can do by learning more about the morality that we earned later in life as we chose and found that our morality choices were correct. If you're a person that wishes to be good, good choices are what you wish to lead with, and good choices are what you think you've made. You can be a person that says, look at my life. I'm a successful person. I finished college. I got a job. I had a family. I raised kids. We had no troubles of the real kind that made families fall apart. Our kids are healthy. Our kids are sound. We may have grandkids on the way or grandkids already here. Our children may be experiencing marriage. They may be experiencing parenthood, the starts of it, which we've already done, that we can share and we can take part in and we can care about as if we were second parents. It's an incredible privilege to be a grandparent, to experience that and to know that and to be a part of that. But if we're a divided family, or any family is divided, those experiences cannot happen. A divided family will not share itself with the other part of the family. If there are divisions that say, we choose to divide ourselves apart from this individual or these individuals because we don't agree with them as being part of our family, because they don't agree with our way of looking at the world. And if they don't agree with us and we don't agree with them, then they are not agreeable to us to be a part of our family. But your family is not apart. It is they who are apart from you, too. They are a part of your family. They are not apart from your family. You are not the family if you choose to push them away or separate yourself from them. They are still family. Regardless, there is no way to exclude someone who is a blood relative, a blood sibling, or someone you grew up with blood that runs in your veins, same as them. You cannot exclude them as part of your family. It's not your family. If you exclude anyone, then you are excluding a family as a thing that you identify at all. A family is inclusive. A family includes all. A family is a joint venture. No, a family is just a joint adventure that lasts until death. It is siblings, it is family that is there at the moment of death, more likely than not. It is husbands, wives, who lay to rest the last breaths of a husband or wife in their arms, a brother or a sister who lays to rest the last breath of a brother or a sister or a mother or a father, even maybe even a daughter or a son if they die first. When we don't know when we'll die and we don't know what our outcome will be in life, life is precious and life is limited because time is limited. If time is limited, then time is something that we don't have the option of wasting. We can waste our life hating. We can waste our lives pushing away from family. We can waste our lives trying to be family members that hate, family members that carry memories of old mistakes that someone else made that we carry, but we don't share it with others why we hate or why we have this tremendous shame or anxiety or sense of wrong to ourselves that we carry. A dark cloud can be what some carry, and they don't know why, and no one else will know why too. But when you share that dark cloud with others, you bring that dark cloud to them. And if they don't know why you carry it, they may not be the right ones to be around you at the time if they have their own dark cloud. To communicate amongst us is important. Strangers, friends, family especially. Family can communicate to the deepest ways, true, but family apart cannot communicate well. Family apart cannot communicate well because there isn't communication within the family. That's communication that's of an effective and valuable kind. When difficult times come and difficult times need communication that is right, that is accurate, that is true, and that is honest. If a decision must be made to exclude or include a family member that may be experiencing or doing something that is right, that is wrong, that is outside of what is their own life, which involves now the family and their lives. If a family member is in your life that hasn't been, and they are upturning your life, uprooting your life, or making your life miserable, costing you money, costing you time, costing you suffering, costing you your job, or costing you it all, they're a family that's easily excluded because of those reasons. The exclusion of them eliminates those problems for you. But if they don't cause anything of a disruption to your life or any family member of any kind, if your life continues to sail in the same direction, in the same path of your own making, even if they come into your life, not because they are nothing really, or they aren't a part of your life, because they don't affect your life. If they didn't affect your life before and they don't affect your life now, they can't be a part that's disruptive to your life. They can't be a problem in your life. It isn't possible for that to be true. It's a mistake to judge someone a problem if they're just someone you don't want or like as a member of your family. If a drug addict is a person that many people exclude from family, it's because of the stigma of addiction. The addiction makes a family member unappealing to the family. If the family member has never dealt with them before in the past in a way that's really, really an addiction life shared experience. An addict excludes family members many times, excludes family from their lives many times. Many times they include them too. They use them, steal from them, shame them, no. Make them hate them, yes. Give them anxiety or worry. Lie to them, and lie to them again and again and again. Pull the wool over their eyes more than one time. Give them hope and then take it away. And that experience of getting hope from an addict you love, who you have hope in, may change things or do things different, and then it be gone and be taken away, the rug pulled out from under you, is the most difficult part of experience of life with an addict. But it is not the only part of experience life with an addict in your life that you care about and truly are affecting or being a part of a life that affects you. And if you have that experience, but it's only a cursory or a very small, frivolous, that's not a nice word. Frivolous is not a nice word. If it's only a small glancing part of your life, then you're not really part of the addict experience life. They experience that life on their own. If they're doing it on their own, apart from you, and you don't have any real insight into what they go through or what they are or how they do drugs or what kind of drugs or how many people they may know, or if they do it on the streets or in their home or anywhere else at all, if they do it once a week, twice a week, every single day, all night, what way they take it in, pipe smoke, tray, snort, sniff, shotgun, hot rails. These are things and terms that people who know drugs knows what they are. But people who don't know these terms and decide to make decisions based on what they understand of addiction, but don't know simple terms like that, are ignorant of what perhaps is the greater truth of what addiction is and how addicts go through it and how they suffer, because addicts suffer. They're people that can kill their own lives by being an addict that doesn't quit. You deal with a person that is potentially going to die. When an addict wants help and an addict seeks help, They don't seek it because they're afraid of not dying. They can be afraid of dying, but when they get to that point when they seek help, they've gone through so much turmoil in their life, whether you see it or not. You don't know what they've gone through. When someone seeks help and they have nowhere else to turn, and they've turned for help before in different places that you've heard about, maybe they've entered programs, maybe they've gone to rehab, but you haven't participated in that for real. Driving them to detox or enrolling them, filling out the forms, making sure they went through the door, making sure they went past the intake, making sure that they were there the next day, making sure they filled out an ROI with your phone number, your name, so that you could call and make sure that they were still there. If you haven't done any of
Sorry,
that, then
I am having trouble playing the music from your library.
then you haven't been a part of that experience. You don't know what addiction is. You don't know what it is to suffer. You don't know what it is to put hope in someone. You don't know what it is to judge them correctly because you don't judge them from a point of view or perspective that really has any authority to judge at all an addict, even if they are a family member to you. Your love for them does not give you justification to judge them because they no longer fill the parameters of what you think is an acceptable family member to you. If an addict like you exists, and I'm an addict like that, and I'm an addict who knows what it's like to live all those things, and I'm an addict who also knows what it's like to be that person on the other side of the counter, next to the person driving them to detox, sitting with them, next to them in bed, feeding them when they needed food, making sure that they were okay, paying their bills whole, complete, so that they had water, even if their water bills was a $400 water bill. I've done that. When a friend is frantic because their water was turned off and they have two small children, and I show up or you show up, I show up, and they don't want to say what they're doing, but they have 5 water gallon jugs in their hands, and they're frantic, and they spit out. The water got turned off, and they're just trying to find another jug so that they can go get water from the water machine so that they can give at least their kids bath because the water got shut off. I'm the person that God speaks to because his faith is still there, even though I'm an active addict at that time, and says, pay their bill. And I agree, and I pay their bill without question and get the water turned on back that same night so the kids have water, so the house has water, even though there's people that don't contribute in that house that could have done it too. I'm an outsider helping a friend, and I've done that more than once. I've done that more than once for people that were not family. And people like me do that all the time. We do it all the time because we have an empathy and a care for people. And when we don't expect repayment from them, it's wrong for us to not want our money back, especially when we're like, we need some money now, right? But they're not in a position to help us. It's too bad. But when they are people, real people, that girl, that friend, being sober, 6 months sober, having kids back in her life, being in an environment that does not have drugs in it, looking to the future, filling out employment applications, being a rock star of sobriety, telling me what the right thing to do is, inspiring me. That help I gave that was part of help I gave. Because I gave more help, and she gave help too to me, and encouragement, and being my friend. If people like me exist and people like you exist too that do the same things, and you know what it's like to help addicts and to know more about what it is to participate in an addict's life. We don't enable addicts by helping them to be addicts. An addict will be an addict no matter what. You cannot enable an addict by saying you enable them simply because you state it's true. Enabling is not a simple cookie for all, fits all word that fits when you decide it fits. Enabling is not a simple way to describe for one particular situation. But if you cannot describe it and it cannot be described as enabling, you are describing it inaccurately and you are wrong to use that word. Because if you decide that you know the definition but you don't know how to describe it, then you are not enabling. Enabling is a consistent, persistent, almost daily perhaps, but it is a consistent, persistent involvement of your life in your active life, in your thought process, in your day or night, or in your existence, where it is a part of you that you have to make a choice where you direct money or you direct time or you direct effort or you direct yourself to be a part of that addict's life, where your presence in that choice to help them is a exhausting process for you. The process of enabling is a process. If you do nothing, you do it from anything from afar, and that's not enabling. But enabling is something that people may think they do, and they can be mistaken. And if they use that as a reason to make a choice to judge someone, they're doing poor service to judging right. They judge wrong, is what they do. So if you're an addict like me who's on the brink of being better than he's ever been before and is already feeling sobriety is a badass thing to exist, because I'm sober now and I am not going to get high. I'm determined not to go back. I'm determined to move on and do these things and share my story and share the way that I didn't live, but share the way that I existed. And then I let you watch me continue to be sober. Not to say I'm sober so many days, but see what I do today. Today I talk about this. Tomorrow I talk about something else. Tomorrow I sing a song. Tomorrow I recite a poem. Tomorrow I freestyle a poem or freestyle a song. Tomorrow maybe I do a comedy bit. But I talk about God too. He's always going to be a part because He is what drives my life today. He's the difference in me believing that I can stay sober. Because when I tell myself, you're going to be sober, instead of not believing myself, I believe myself a whole hell of a lot more. So if you're an addict like me and you're not an addict like me, or you're just an addict on the street or addict anywhere on the castle or anywhere else that needs help, seek it out. Reach the family. Reach the family and try to be honest, try to be truthful. Stick to that and see what happens. Family will help you. Family's there and family will come through. Amen.